Okay, so now we are going to start with module 2. So module 2 is quite, this is a easier topic to understand, but still there are quite a lot of options, and AWS provides a lot of features part of this IAM. So we'll discuss the IAM portion today. So we have started seeing what organization is used for, but then there are surrounding activities like policies, service control policies, and so on. So we'll also see some demo around how we can do that. But the main focus for today will be the IAM product from AWS and what are the options that we have within that particular offering. Okay, so we will start. So before we get into the actual IAM, okay, so what we'll try and understand, see, we have created a AWS account, right? And that AWS account, when we created it, so we gave some information, like we gave some personal information or professional information about company, right? There are two options. And after that, we gave an email ID and we gave some personal identifiable information, and it can be again personal and official. And we also gave the details on how we are going to have the billing relationship, whether it is UPI or credit card or debit card or company card or whatever, right? So we also gave that information. So all these information, whichever we have created, it's getting stored in AWS Global Control Plane. So AWS has a backend storage or backend infrastructure that stores all these account related information. So all these information along with, see, when we created the AWS account, we also got a credential to log in, right? When I say credential, at a bare minimum, we got an username, which is email ID plus password. Okay, so this email ID and password, we call it as root account. Okay, or we can just say it's a corporate specific account. So between your company and AWS as an organization. So we are using this root account to access the AWS account to start with, right? So this root account is getting stored in AWS Identity Management System. So that identity management system, it's a global system. Okay, it's not specific to a particular country or region. It's not a it's not stored in one single place. It's a global identity management system. So whatever the account details, the root account information, it gets stored in a global system. So single region or single country impact will not impact any of your information to log into AWS platform. Okay, so you need to be very clear in this. So along with this, see, in the identity management system, so I will just make it very clear. So this is identity management system. So this is a global system. Okay, so we don't manage this. Okay, so this is managed by AWS team. So this is not a single specific country or region. So this information is global in nature. So one particular regional outage or availability zone outage or data center outage will not impact any of this data. Okay, and then when we created this email ID and password and all those things got created, along with that, we also got a account ID for each of the account that we are creating. It's a 12-digit unique ID. So yesterday we created two accounts, if I remember it correct. So we created one account for the management account, which is the first account that we create. So this is where we do all the governance activities. This is where we do all the FinOps related activities. Master, some people call it as payer account or master payer account. The very first account, which we use for creating additional accounts, which we use for inviting additional account, is called management account. That is the first AWS account. Okay, and additional account, whatever you are adding new or inviting new, which are already there as part of the acquisition or merger. So those are all called member AWS account. Okay, and each and every account will have a 12-digit unique ID. So let's try to log in back to that console, and I will explain a little bit more. So if, I mean, after some time, this login will timeout, session timeout. I will show you where exactly the session timeout configuration and other details are stored. So this will again log us back and log in us back to the root account. Okay, so see when you, okay, let me close all these screens which we opened yesterday. Okay, let Gmail be there. Okay, so if this logs in, then that's fine, or else we will try to log in again. Fine. So here, when you log in, you are getting two options. Okay, so this is the account ID or the 12-digit account number which we have got. And you can also make, if you are continuously logging into this single AWS account, you can remember this account and you can enter the credential. See, now it is asking for IAM username and password. So there is another option called sign in using root user email. So this is the account which I am talking about here. So the root account is the account which is a specific account for each corporate company at the account AWS account level. For each AWS account, there will be a root account, which is a unique ID that we use for creation of the AWS account. So I created the AWS account using this email ID. So this email ID and the corresponding password is called the root account. Okay, so let me log in first. So for now, I have not enabled any multi-factor authentication. Currently, we are just using this identity and password which is used for authentication. Okay, so let me enter my password which we used yesterday. So as part of the account creation, we gave some password at the second step itself. Okay, that is the same password I'm using here. So now I'm logging into the first account which we created, which is the management account. Okay, so under the management account, you have a unique ID and there is a concept which we created called organization. So after we created the organization, we started creating organizational unit, OU, under which we started adding the corresponding AWS account, which are meant to be placed inside that. That's what we were discussing yesterday, right? So now if I want to log into this new AWS account, so this is the member account. See, the master account or the management account will be tagged like this, management account. And this is some, most of the times it is the master payer account also, where all the billing related relationship and payment will happen from this account. And if I want to log into this AWS account, I can copy the account ID. So every account will get a 16-digit unique identity. And what I can do is I can just go into an incognito window. And here I can just say console.aws.amazon.com, or you can just type aws.amazon.com also. Okay, it will take us to the home screen. From there, you can click on console and it will prompt us for logging in. So there are, it can be two-step or single step. Now, automatically, you can start understanding more about how this works. See, currently it is default to the European North region. So if you want to log into different location, so each and every location will have its own unique code. For example, if I want to log into Hyderabad, I need to type Asia Pacific, AP-South-2. If I want to log into Mumbai, AP-South-1. So these are all unique code that are assigned to each region. So in your login itself, you will see before the sign in URL. So this is aws.amazon.com, and before that you are signing into this portal, and which region also can be entered here. So if you change this, it will automatically default to our south region. For example, let's say AP-South-2 or South-1. If I want to give any of this, I can just enter. By automatically, after I give my credential, it will log into Mumbai as a default region. So you can also use that in the sign-in itself. Okay. So now I can paste the account ID, which I have copied. This is the member account. And for this member account, I can use the root account or the another account which I used for creating this particular account and provide the password. See, one important thing that you need to understand, see all these account, right? For example, if I sign in, so if the authentication information is correct, it will allow me to log in, or else, so if I want to retrieve the password, okay, so retrieving the password is not possible. So what you can do is you can reset the password. And if you have the proper email ID details, you can get the code one-time password and then you can reset it. So retrieving password is not possible. So whatever the root account credential, AWS team or the customer will not have access to view the account. It is hashed, it is encrypted. So no way you can retrieve the password. Instead, you can reset the password if you forgot the password. So let me give it a try again and then see if I can log in. Okay, so it says the credential is not correct.
Stan, is it the same root password we are going to use, or we have to create a separate password for
Yeah,
each
you
account?
can reset the password if you want, but then let me check. I think this account, this is the same AWS account, right? 37280. Okay, so let me use the dev. Okay, let me give it a try. I will just say sign in dot. Okay, let me do one thing. I will try to reset the password. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I think, see, this is where the understanding should be very clear, right? That's the purpose of the introduction here. See, there are two type of account. The root user account, which is stored in AWS Identity Management System and managed by AWS team. Okay, so the other category is the IAM user, which we are going to discuss now. So, which is actually stored inside customer managed IAM solution and managed by customer, right? So the mistake that we did here, or the mistake that we are doing here, instead of choosing the root account, we are trying to use the IAM. So IAM is different. IAM is managed by the customer. So we need to log into the AWS account using the root account always. Okay. So here I will just enter the root account. So what I will do is I will just go one step back, and then this time I will select the root account rather than the IAM account. Okay, so sign in using root user email. So that is a root account, right? It's not an IAM account. So this, they are asking here clearly, it is IAM username. So we are not entering IAM username. We are using the root account. So here for this one, I'm going to use the dev and then the password. Okay, and then sign in. So now I think hopefully you all should be clear. See, since we made quite a lot of reset and attempts, so it is sending a one-time password. So you will get it in the same ID only. So you will get it in the same account. So you got it, and you can enter the one-time password. This is valid for 10 minutes, and you can enter it here. Okay, so now after I log in, I will be logged into the member account here. So on the rightmost top, you will see the account ID, and also you will see the account name here. So if you look at here, so this is the account name, which is my member account, and this is the account ID. So whatever we have been doing so far, we have been using the root account. Okay, so this root account is meant for the AWS account level. It has everything and any level of access. So in general, we should not be using this account for doing routine daily activities. So this account should be used for any break glass procedure or any specific high level situation where you need to use this account. Otherwise, this account should be very much protected, and you should keep it in a very good password vault so that it will be used only during the situation. So on a daily basis, for the activities that we do, like patching, monitoring, backup, or any troubleshooting, we have to use our own identity which has been created by our organization in AWS IAM. Okay, so now we have root account for each and every AWS account that we create. So the credential for that will be stored in AWS Identity Management System, which is a global system managed by AWS. Okay, and even AWS staff cannot see your password; they cannot retrieve it. And only option is if you forgot it, you can go and reset it. Okay, so completely this password is hashed and encrypted, and both AWS team and we cannot go and retrieve the password. We can just only go and if you have stored it in a password vault, and then yeah, you can definitely go and see it. But then if it is from the identity management system, there is no way you can retrieve the password. You can reset the password when you want to do that. Okay, so before we get into AWS IAM, any question on this root account and AWS account?
Stan, here
Yeah.
the root account and management account, whether both will be same or it,
No, see, management account, it refers to the account, AWS account 12-digit ID. So that is the, so AWS account is the ID number. Okay, so for example, if you're going and opening an banking account, you will get a unique ID, right? Unique number, right? So that
yes,
is for
yes.
your management purpose. And then for logging into the banking portal, you use your username and password. That is different, right? There are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So to enable
Mm-hmm.
the relationship, you get an account ID, account number. Okay, so that account number is called the management account. Okay, to access this account and manage things inside that account, you get a username and password. That is what is called root account or root user account. Okay, so root user account refers to the username. Okay, and then the management account refers to the ID that you get. It's the 12-digit unique
Account
ID
ID.
for your,
Okay.
yeah, account ID.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, okay, fine. So never use this root account for daily work. And of course, I will show you how to enable multi-factor authentication, and also do not unnecessarily create root access keys and other things, which I will show you how to create it, but then don't unnecessarily use it. So if someone asks you, if is the root account stored in customer AWS IAM? No, it is not stored inside customer IAM. Instead, it is stored in AWS managed global identity system. And you can only reset the password, you cannot retrieve it. It is a global identity. It is not tied to any region or data center. Even if one data center goes down or one region, AWS region goes into outage, your root account will not get impacted. Okay, so it's AWS management account is like a bank account number. Just for analogy, don't just think. So root email or the user account is the login account for your banking portal. And of course, password is password. In sometimes in bank we use password, or in bank we use PIN number or different encrypted option, right? And also we also use multi-factor authentication, which I will explain shortly. Okay, so just for at a very high level. Now let's get into today's topic, which is identity and access management. And AWS is
Start
yeah. Go ahead.
out.
Yeah, yeah. Please,
Please.
please.
Yeah, so actually you had created this, account with plus dev, right?
Uh huh.
So how does that take the same password as the root user?
Okay, see, generally the you can have separate email address for each AWS account. That's how the corporate will work. Okay, that's how the organization will work. So what I have
Hmm.
done is, in order to make the practical hands-on demo easier, I've used the same account. So even you can do the same thing. Okay, so the how Gmail ID works, like anything that you add outside of the plus, right? After the plus, it will be considered as the same account. But in AWS
Okay.
platform, it will be treated as a separate email ID or separate distribution list. So I'm using the same credential. So even for the first time, if you're not able to log in, you can click on reset password and you will be able to change it. Okay, so that's possible anytime. So see here, when I receive the email also, you can see it is receiving with plus dev, but I'm receiving it on my actual primary email address only. So anything that I
Mm-hmm.
receive for plus dev or plus prod or plus shared services, so it will come to this particular account only. So that's how the Gmail works. To make things clear. But in real world, real organization, we will not be using the same umbrella username or password, sorry, email address. Instead, for each and every AWS account, we'll have a separate email ID or separate distribution list that will be linked to the AWS account. Because the reason we are creating AWS account is meant for specific specific application or specific platform team or specific environments. For each and everything, we will have a separate email address in a real production environment. But this is how you can also practice. Okay, so you don't have to create too many Gmail address and complicate things. Just for practicing, easier practicing purpose, I've just used one email address, and then I have started adding a plus icon to create more AWS account that we need. And also one more thing I need to make it clear. So for your practice, so just create single AWS account and start practicing it. Don't get into AWS organization and all those things for now, because that will convert your free account to paid account. Okay, and then it will be challenging for you to practice freehand. So instead, just create one AWS account and start practicing the services like IAM, EC2, S3, and then after 6 months, you can practice the advanced level services like organization and other things. Because once you add your first management account into your organization, so you might have seen that yesterday. So once after I added it, my free tier account got converted to a paid plan. See, automatically when I add my account into the organization structure, the free plan has automatically got upgraded to a paid plan. Okay, for just for demo purpose, I have just shown it yesterday. Don't do this as of now. You can do it after 4-5 months of practicing the services. Then you can try organization and advanced level options. Okay, just to make sure you utilize your free account. Don't start practicing organization kind of like specialized services at the beginning itself. Don't do that. So rather you just complete EC2, S3, IAM and other mandatory basic services, and then you go for the higher level features. Okay, now coming back to the IAM.